Hello guys, welcome back. Right, if you've just watched the first video on Hourglass, you'll know that this putter nearly got snapped. I don't know what is happening. I normally, it's probably one of the strongest parts of my game, feel like I'm an alright putter. I had about 5 3-putts where I was about 20 foot from the hole. Obviously I need to work on getting closer to the hole, but there's no way I should be 20 yards, 20 foot away and 3-putting. Literally a 3-putt. I even missed some 1-2 footers, didn't there? So today we're just going to have, like I said, we're going to try and do a few of these videos while we're here in Ireland, Northern Ireland. Obviously Chris is here, it's a good job Chris is here, yeah. But we're going to do some putting. Yeah. It's an aspect of, I feel like it's a part of a game that everybody overlooks, okay? I did not lose a ball at Hourglass. Hitting driving irons, absolutely pure, and I'm 3-putting. So we need to eradicate the 3-putt and just figure out what it is and why I'm doing it. And I know this is a putting video and some people might think, putting, see you later. In a round, average round, you use a putter, what, 40, an average amateur, 30
to 40 times, yeah.
30 to 40 times a round. You use your driver maybe 12.
From what I see on the course, the main issue, for sure, I'm not a putting coach firstly, but I understand enough about it to see that Gaz, struggled with his pace control yesterday. Going from different greens day to day, I think it's really important that you calibrate pace when you arrive at a golf course first. Second to that, you want to obviously sharpen up your start line. So we're going to look a little bit at the pace control stuff and the key things that I think are important to control that. Yep. And then get Gaz comfortable starting the ball on his intended start line. If you can do them two things, you rely then on green reading and obviously what version of you turns up on that day. I say to all my players, and I'll say the same to Gaz and I'll say the same to everyone I coach, you determine if you putted well if you start the ball on your intended start line and your pace is under control. If you hold the putts or not, that is some degree out of your control. You can bobble the ball, we've got a lot of wind conditions here, and you may misread the putt. So determine success of putting as if you start the ball on your intended start line and your pace is under control. So to start with then, what we noticed with Gaz's stroke yesterday was the pace of the stroke, or the tempo of the stroke more so, changed, okay, shot dependent. So he had a tendency of almost going back too long and then, and you'll see this in the video, and then almost slowing down. So he didn't look like he was trying to hold the putts. It was very tentative, and because of that, you left a lot of putts short. Yep. So what we're going to start with, and this is very player dependent, we're going to start with trying to find Gaz's happy medium when it comes to a constant tempo. So very much a fan of a metronome and a 1-2 mentality. It can be as quick as someone like Brandt Snedeker, who's very fast. It can be quite long and slow like a Luke Donald. But as long as it's constant, you're going to be able to repeat that over a sustained period of time. So let's start with a bit of that work, Gaz. And rather than going at a hole, mate, let's just do, a drill I like to do is I grab a few tees. I do 2.5 steps, which is roughly 5 feet. Put a tee down. Very similar to the wedge ladder drill. It's to get the ball with the same tempo, but obviously the pace will slightly increase. Yep. Pass the tee, no more than 18 inches, and work up the ladder. If you fail, you start again.
Right. We could be here a while, guys.
The reason we do this not using a hole is it takes the emphasis away from holding the putt. So it's very much around trying to get some feel in the hand. So a couple of practice swings, have a look at where you want the ball to go when you're practicing, feel it in your fingers, right. And we're trying to get the ball to stop.
So I'm trying to do that 1-2 stuff, yeah?
And find your happy medium. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. Let the putter swing. Let the putter swing. Just past the first one. Okay, fine. Next, now we work straight up. Set now, same tempo, 1, 2, but it's going to be a slightly brisker stroke. Perfect. So the reason we wanted to get it past the tee is obviously we want it to have a chance to go in. I'd rather it 1.5 feet past the hole than 1 inch short. Okay, so slightly over hit. So in the nature of this drill, you would now start again. And I would encourage doing this for 15 minutes before you play.
And this is just stuff people never do, is it?
Never.
I bet you get in the comments, by the way, if you've ever done anything like this before, and I guarantee you 98% of the people watching this video have never done this. I've played golf for years, and I've never done this. Why? I just guess.
And think about it, if we're playing 5 courses in 5 days, we've got 5 different speeds of greens.
1, 2.
There we go.
I get it, like people go to driving range, there's a practice area, a practice putting green at everyone's golf club. This would benefit some people more than anything on a driving range.
This eradicates the chances of free putting, or at least makes it less likely. Again, this is not a technical piece, right? This is just understanding that we all can control the tempo of our stroke if you work on it. This is not talking about if it goes straight or alignment or any of that stuff. It's just getting it
Yeah, but it's
within that.
two-putting, isn't it? It's two-putting
Two-putting.
rather than three-putting.
And if you're a, you know, beginner, improver, single-figure golfer, pace putting is so important.
I take that, come on.
That's what I mean. It's a little short, but again, you're tapping in. Where yesterday you could see, I can already see the pace of your stroke is more constant. There's no rapid accelerations, decelerations. It's just 1, 2, 1, 2. It looks like it's swinging a bit more. Fourth tee, go on then. So you go for the third tee there?
No, that one.
Yeah, it was perfect. Let's just jump straight to the last one, test it. So take a couple of practice swings. So obviously with this longer one, the length of the stroke is going to change, but the pace is the same. So we don't hit it harder,
So
we just
like
swing it one,
one,
two.
two.
And it's still swinging the same tempo, just a little bit longer.
One, two.
Come on then, good pace. Let it swing all the way. Lovely tempo, lovely tempo. So you've overhit it slightly, but the tempo was very, very good.
Yeah.
And you can probably feel that as the player, like the feedback you're getting.
I didn't kind of go long and then quit on it. I kind of just went bigger, 1, 2.
And the job of a practice swing, and this is what I say a lot of people, if I just jump in for 2 seconds, right? If I'm looking at this hole here and I'm making a couple of practice swings, or I'm looking at where I want to go with my 1-2 tempo, when I go into the ball and I've committed to my line, I'm genuinely just trying to copy what I've just done. I'm not thinking of anything at all. I'm just copying my practice stroke. Otherwise, what's the point of doing one?
1 back, 2, so it's like 1, 2.
Yeah, so it's 1,
One,
2,
two,
1,
one,
2, 1, 2. When I feel like I've got it in my hands, I'm genuinely trying to copy that when I'm about to hit the putt.
So if I'll try and get a putt from Hourglass on the screen, I was probably just going like 1, 2.
Yeah,
Not
and
like
then
1, 2.
And then the next one, though, would be 1, 2. And then the next one would be...
One.
So it was always different. So how
Yeah.
the hell can you get that tempo, I mean, the pace consistent if you can't at least control what is within your control?
If you want to go and play golf on a Saturday, like every week, and you're going to shoot 85, fair enough. If you enjoy that, fair enough. But if you genuinely want to get better, which I do, I want to be a scratch golfer. Like that's my ultimate goal in life. Forget the kids going to uni, right? I want to be a scratch golfer. When you go, when you're watching Tiger Woods, anyone warming up, you always see stuff like this.
Well,
but
this-
it's never something that we would go and do
So Tiger Woods would do this drill every single
before he plays.
Every single time,
Yeah.
this gate drill.
It is
And you'll
so
see him on
important.
YouTube doing it. He would putt with his right hand only because he likes the feeling of the toe releasing with the gate.
Yeah, we watch it, but no one does it. This, I'm just starting to realise that I'm going to keep shooting around that 80 mark and 78 and 79 and 80 and 76. And like the Tyneside video, when I shot one over, it was because all these dropped. That could have been that lucky round.
That's the difference.
But that proved that I can go that low when I put well.
So this is good for mechanics, but also like the thing that I think this adds more so, if you did this for 10 minutes before you played, right, just 10 minutes, and every time for 10 minutes after a period of time, you got through that gate and through that start line gate, so your stroke's gonna move through here without hitting the tees, and the ball's gonna start on the intended start line. If you did that for 10 minutes, you would walk to that first tee feeling amazing. You'd be like, I know I'm starting it on my line, I feel good, I've done my pace stuff, I've got the pace today, I'm starting it on my line. All I've got to do is read the greens okay, which is obviously hard in itself.
Yeah.
But everything else, you're sort of building a nice foundation to make yourself feel confident. Whereas if you just rock out of the car and go and putt, five putts on the putting green straight to the first tee, which a lot of people do, it's very difficult. So let's just start this one. So one, two.
1, 2.
And all we're going to do is in the inside right on this putt, right, which you are aiming perfect. 1, 2.
Right, we're done. Thanks for watching.
There we go.
No, I'm sure.
So that ball rolled end over end with good tempo, and this is stuff that's in your control. So every time you do this though, just do 10 of them and go through your routine. So again, practice strokes, guys. Do it correctly, look at the hole, go through the same routine every time.
This is another thing, practice routine. Like I'm 4 foot. So many, I play golf on challenges and subscriber challenges, everyone, this kind of thing, they line it up, they walk up and just go, and then they miss it. Like how many putts this length an amateur misses is mental.
You take one look and you just copy what you did.
2.
All right, so there you go, you pulled it. Beautiful.
I caught the peg when it went in.
No, but interesting, you're so interesting. Let's look at that putt, right? So, and you'll see these on the camera when you watch this video. The first one actually went right to left and it went in. That one actually looked like it was going to go to the right.
Right.
You hit the same putt and it's hit a different grain of grass or something.
Yeah.
So that's a great example of you've done what's in your control, in your play box and in your pre-shot routine, and the outcome is kind of, you want to try and get away from that the best you can.
Okay.
If it goes in, it goes in, and more of that attitude of, look, I don't care if it goes in, I'm just going to do what I control. Funnily enough, the ball goes in more when you care less. There we go.
Boom. Right.
So there we go. So that's just 2 things that you can do before you start every round, just to get yourself in the right headspace with a flat stick.
Right, so hopefully that will help me putting, because like I said, this has been I'm not going to dive into too much mechanics or changing stuff around. I feel like that is all I needed. And sometimes you might just need a putting lesson or a little recap. But try this, go to your putting green, put them out, all the things, go to the different tees or whatever, and then literally do some stuff like this. And I feel like it will benefit everyone. Let's see how I putt next round at Castle Rock. Thanks for watching, thanks to Chris. We're going to do some more stuff while we're here. But yeah, see you soon.